Is tax evasion cool?
As long as you don't go to jail.
Let's bring in friend of the show and noted tax hater, Frank Vatrano. Frank, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on the new deal.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on again.
You are the Shohei Ohtani of hockey. Do you like that? Is that good? Is that cool for you?
Kind of. I think, obviously his contract's a little bit, same contract, different money. He's also the best player in his sport. I wouldn't say I'm there. But no, it's cool. Guys were joking yesterday, calling me Shohei. So, it's not a bad nickname.
Is tax evasion cool?
As long as you don't go to jail.
That's a good answer.
I was thinking about it because I saw people tweeting about it. Like, we should not be calling this contract innovative or celebrating it. They're like, tax evasion is a slippery slope, should not be doing it. And I want to be like, it's not tax. Like, literally, you are avoiding the state taxes by legally being paid it when you're living somewhere else, whether you're in Massachusetts, Florida, or whatever. So I was like, it's just not illegal tax evasion.
Right.
It is.
It's strategy.
Yeah. No, exactly. And obviously signing this deal, like, I didn't just sign the deal and do it. We didn't, and obviously Pat and my agent, it's not like we just got the deal and signed it. You also have to look at all the things of how it actually works. And there's actually like some laws in California that allow this to happen and to go through with it. So, just can't live in California for 10 years and you can get deferred payments. So, it's in writing. I'm not trying to, I would kind of be reinventing the wheel a little bit here with, the way I'm doing it. One of the first kind of in the NHL to ever do something like this. So hopefully more guys do it and take note of it.
So what I've gathered is it was actually Verbeek's idea that the sides were off on AAV, and Verbeek had looked at the Shohei thing and was like, hey, why don't we try this sort of thing? If Frank's not going to be living in California down the road, we'd be able to defer payment. And your agency looked at it and they were like, this actually does check a lot of Frank's boxes because when you're done playing, you're going to have salary and guaranteed money coming in down the road where a lot of players don't as soon as they finish playing. So when it was pitched to you, were you receptive to it, or were you like, hey, this hasn't happened before, so why would I do it?
No, I was definitely receptive of it. I was, really going to do whatever it took to get a deal done in Anaheim because this is where I wanted to be. And, I'm so thrilled that we got the deal done. And just kind of when it was brought across the table by Pat and my agent looked at it and kind of got into the fine details of it, it kind of getting the right financial people on the call, it kind of all made sense. And, when I first saw it and then you see the end number, I kind of really didn't understand of like, well, how are we getting to that number if I'm making this X amount of dollars? And then once you kind of explain it and the deferral and how the money accrues and all that stuff, you're like, wow, this is actually unbelievable. This is a great way to, kind of beat some of the taxes that you have to pay here in California.
So will you do, maybe you don't know what your future holds, but like Massachusetts, Florida, like Florida obviously would make the most sense if you really want to get bang for your buck there.
Yeah, I've always wanted to retire in Florida. I lived there for 5 years and, I loved it there.
That's
I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, I know. I always wanted to retire in Florida.
You live in California as an adult and you're going to retire in Florida. It's the most Boston thing I've ever heard.
I know. I think that's why I loved it so much, and it was such an easy adjustment for me to come to Anaheim because it's so similar. Obviously, we're talking about the taxes a bunch on this episode, but the only thing that's different between California and Florida is the taxes. So, I'm just happy I can go to Florida and retire when I'm done.
You're clearly like thinking about your future a lot. Do you have any it's weird to ask you now because you're not close to retiring, but do you have a retirement plan or strategy in place for once you're done playing?
Money-wise, obviously I have a financial advisor and they do all the planning ahead of time with, I have 2 daughters now, 2 kids, and plan to grow that family even more. So obviously got to put money away for college and whatnot, but, I'm just looking to become, scratch plus golfer, maybe get a swing coach while I'm down there. So those are my retirement plans.
So you said that you wanted to stay in Anaheim, and obviously this achieves that while also kind of making sense for you financially. Did you wonder if it was going to end up happening in Anaheim? Like, I think back to last trade deadline, you still had a year plus on your deal, and you were sought after because people were like, hey, mate, if he doesn't stick around there, we'll definitely take him at the trade deadline. Like, were there any points, whether then or even this summer, that you thought, like, am I moving here? And as somebody, you just mentioned having a family, I bet once you have a family, you're a little less inclined to be like, yeah, I'll go here for 3 months and I'll just move around a bunch.
Yeah, I think that's a huge piece of it is, I think when you're single and you're playing hockey early in your career, all you really focus on is yourself. And then once you have a wife and you have kids, you're kind of, it's not just you making the decision, it's your entire family, and you got to do what's best for them and also what's best for yourself. And, you make that decision as a group. And, but the whole process, like, I know there's a bunch of rumors going on over the past 2 years that, maybe I was going back to New York and doing whatnot, but my agent and Pat were always in contact, and I knew that I was going to stay in Anaheim. I knew I wasn't going anywhere, and so obviously, when you stay in contact and your GM's honest with you, that's all you can really ask for is a GM that's honest and lets you know exactly where you stand. So I knew eventually a deal would get done, and I was just I'm happy it's finally done now.
How much of a relief was it knowing deep down that you weren't going to New York? They stink, baby.
No, New York is, it was great for me when I was there. To play in the conference finals, play at MSG, to play with some great players, and obviously they're going through a tough time right now. And but that room over there, they have a great bunch of guys, and hopefully they get through it. And we got one of their good guys. We got Trouba now, so I'm glad to have on our side. And now when I play the Rangers, I don't have to worry about going down the right side of the ice anymore.
How much shit has Trouba talked about the Rangers since arriving in Anaheim? I just like to imagine him like arriving in the locker room, throwing his shit down, and be like, Frank, I got to tell you some shit.
I mean,
here.
he did it on the record,
Yeah.
so you can't be like, oh, no, he's got nothing but good things to say. He has nothing but bad things to say.
No, he's good. Trubs is obviously knew the situation that he was in and whatnot. He was put in a really tough spot, but I think if you talk to him, he's just glad it's all done and over with. Now he can, focus on his family and focus on hockey. And obviously, when you play in a big market like New York and you're the captain, it's a lot. It's tough, and his situation is a lot different than most. When his wife's a doctor and she's doing a residency and whatnot, it's not the easiest decision. He had to do what was best for his family, and now he's in Anaheim. He loves it here. He's having fun, and he's just such a great guy to add to this group. And this guy I've known a long time, and I'm so happy to have him. And I'm happy he's here in Anaheim.
Pete was very worried for Trevor Zegras when that trade went down. He was like, they might just be getting this guy to straighten the kid out in practice. We talked to Alex Vlasic, who obviously is friends with Zegras and played with him in college, just to try to get a feel for him. And I was like, why don't we talk to Vatrano about this? Because he plays with him. Like, is he misunderstood or is he perfectly understood?
I think if you don't know him, he's misunderstood. He's one of my favorite teammates. I love the kid to death. He's great. I look forward to seeing him every single day at the rink. Text all the time throughout the summer, text throughout the year. And, he's a guy that just wants to win. He's so competitive. And I think with the media and whatnot, that everyone tries to create this huge ordeal, this huge story that guys don't like him and whatnot, but everyone loves him. He's a great teammate. He just wants to be the best. And I'm excited to get him back in the lineup when he's going through his injury right now. And but he's the best. He really, truly is the best.
How much of wanting to stay in Anaheim was knowing that if you went anywhere else, you were a forward who had to play against a team that had Radko Gudas and Jacob Trouba?
Yeah, that's what kind of wanted me to stay a little bit. I don't have to play against those two guys, so I get to just play against them in practice. So usually they take it a little bit easy on practice, so I don't have to worry about getting hit by either of those two guys.
Did you see the video that Anaheim put out when they got Trouba? It was just like a super cut of those two murdering people, being like, "Ooh, we have some tough customers now." And I was like, Jesus, they're gonna be a horrifying team to play against.
No, it's crazy. I mean, I remember I got to play with Butch in Florida, so I got to see it firsthand there, and obviously playing against him early in my career. He got me a couple of times, but I started playing with Troubs when I was 16, and you should have saw what he was doing to kids when we were 16, 17 years old.
Jesus.
It was insane. So there's a video out there too. I think when he was like 12 years old, he just decapitated some kid in like Sweden. And I wonder if the clip's still out there somewhere. I remember they showed it during his draft year of him just absolutely hammering someone when he was like 12 years old, and that stuff he's been doing since he was a kid, and there's a reason why he's been playing the NHL a long time.
How much have you seen the team identity shift over like the past year and a half? Because it seems pretty clear that's sort of the goal here, going out and getting Trouba, like Gudas coming in, and it just seems like there's an intent on becoming more mature and sort of more seasoned.
Yeah, we have a mixture of older guys and younger guys. We talk about all the time. I think we have 7 guys under the age of 23, and that's very rare, especially in the NHL. Even though the league's getting very young, it's very rarely that you have 7 guys under the age of 23 and under. So, I think last year was a huge year for our younger guys to kind of play a full year NHL and to find out what's expected of you every single night and how you need to play and to be effective, and you find out what works and what doesn't work. And you're going to go through growing pains as a young guy in the NHL. It's just how it is. It's not a straight trajectory. It's a lot of ups and downs. And I think this year with those guys playing last year was huge for them, and they're all making strides. And I think we have a great locker room. We have a great bunch of guys that just want to get better every day and help each other out. And we just want to win and create a great culture here that believe in ourselves that we could win here.
So you've got, this year and then 3 more years after it. Where do you think the team is by the end of your deal? Because, obviously the Pacific stinks. There's no good teams in there, so it's just an absolute cakewalk. You don't have to worry about any of the teams that are ahead of you. But a year from now, and I know this season isn't done, but I look at your team and you're right around 500, and that's good for like 6th in your division just because it's so stacked. But eventually these guys are going to get older and more experienced. Like, how good do you see this team getting?
Yeah, I think we're knocking on the door. We've been playing great hockey as of late, and for us, our goal is to make the playoffs this year, and that's your goal every single year. 'Cause everyone wants to play meaningful games, come down the stretch in February and March. And no one wants to be, just playing meaningless games in January where your season's already done. So, but I think we're knocking on the door and can push for the playoffs this year, next year, and I think just once you kind of get that taste of blood that you get to play in the playoffs, like there's no better feeling in the world. There's a bunch of guys on the team that have never played in the playoffs, and we always talk about it's the best time to play hockey. There's no other thing to play for. It's just selfless hockey, and once you get a taste of it, you want to be playing every single year. So I think we're really close. We're right there.
Can you help Leo Carlson with his interior decorating?
This one.
Oh, I saw that tweet that you had of his gaming setup.
It's so bad.
That's just Leo to a T. Simple guy.
I love it. He seems like the nicest guy in the world, but man, he needs some help with that whole thing. That is a disaster. That is the biggest young kid picture I've ever seen in my life.
I got to send him to Micro Center. I sent Zegras there about 2 months ago. He got he was in there for like 4 hours, just picking out a brand new gaming setup, new laptop, new monitor, you name it.
Are you a gamer?
In COVID, I was a huge gamer. Like I got into I didn't build the PC myself. I picked all the stuff that went in it, but I was hardcore, like the original Warzone and all that Fortnite and all that stuff. But I've kind of gotten away from it a little bit. I like to play. Me and Z play every once in a while. He actually texted me last night. I wanted to play Fortnite, but 2 kids now. I'm a little tired at night. But no, I just wish the old Warzone came back and I'd be back gaming. Maybe I'll just wait for GTA 6. That looks like a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Verdansk is coming back in the spring, so that's when I'm getting back into Warzone. But I heard
that's when I'll be back playing then.
Hell yeah. I heard Zegras say that Carlson's nasty at Warzone. No? What? He lied?
No.
So
he's okay. He's okay. We played Warzone like a couple months ago, and it was me. I think it was Jackson Lacombe, Leo, and Z and Strom and Troy Terry. And we haven't played we rarely play. We'll just hop on and play. And It was like one game, and it was like Stromer's at the top of the leaderboard, and all the younger guys were at the bottom. He's like, "Hey, not bad for a 31-year-old who doesn't play anymore." Just giving it to him. It was awesome.
After that tweet went around for me, I saw Zegras gave like a media scrum interview, and he was like, anybody who sees and critiques him for that hasn't played with him. He's nasty. So
It's a good teammate.
I mean, yeah, that like
he's a
you
good
said,
player.
he
He's not
misunderstood.
bad.
He's a
Not
great
bad.
teammate.
He's not bad. Leo's not bad at COD. He's good. I'm not saying he's bad, but I wouldn't say he's at the top.
What I'm getting is that Zegras is a liar.
Yeah,
So this year you're just
good
fuel to the fire. Saying that Carlson's good and he clearly isn't. We're taking your word over his. This does not portend well for Mr. Zegras. Frank, you are the best. You guys are in town next month, I think. Yeah, you'll be back in Boston.
Yeah, we're the first.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's our first game after the whatever that tournament's called. What is it? The World Cup? Four Nations.
Yes.
Four
tournament?
Nations, yeah.
yeah. World.
We're gonna cut a promo for the Four Nations. With
It's
that
called
clip.
World Seniors. Oh
World
fuck! Why don't they
Seniors,
call it that?
Be pretty good.
World Seniors, and then just I don't know. Do you think there's a statistical or there's a competitive advantage? Our producer Sean brought this up. By them only having 4 nations, they're letting like Draisaitl, Pasternak, and those guys like can't play in this tournament. So certain NHL teams are getting a competitive advantage by their guys not having to jump in and play this fun little circus in the middle of the season.
I mean, yeah. Obviously, it'd be great to have every single nation playing and have the NHL best players represent their countries. But I think with the way that the NHL worked this out, it was just to put the 4, Finland, Sweden, U.S., Canada in it, and all those guys that made those teams are the best players in the world, and it's going to be awesome to see them playing on the big stage. Obviously, I think everyone wished the tournament was expanded, but that's just how the tournament came about. But it's great for those guys that are on that team. Whenever you can represent your country and play in a big tournament like that, it's awesome. Especially, it's really cool for me with it being in Boston. It's going to be great, and Boston and Montreal can't get 2 better cities than that to play a tournament like that.
That's going to be amazing. And like half of your team was just in that tournament. We're in World Juniors like a year ago.
Yeah,
So
I know.
like, does Cutter do like watch parties or something? Be like, hey, I don't know if you guys saw me. I used to do this a bit myself.
Yeah, we always joke around about the World Juniors, and we were joking. We were in Edmonton a couple days ago, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Mac T, this is the save. This is the rink where the save happened." But no, I feel like all the guys in our team literally play World Juniors within the past like 3 or 4 years. It's actually insane.
Hell yeah. Frank, we're so happy for you on the deal. Pete sent the tweet in the group chat. We were pumped, saw the video, loved it. Great job with that. Huge congrats. You're going to do big things the next few years there. I say that meaning the whole Ducks. You got a lot of stuff. Also, can I ask about Ben Affquack? Last thing. Ben Affquack. You know about that guy?
No, who's Ben Affquack?
Whenever you guys win, the Ducks tweet a thing about it's a duck.
It's a duck who like
plays
bangs
drums.
a drum with his feet. It is a
I
mercenary.
actually saw that. That's so weird that you just said that, because the first I've ever saw that was on a reel last night, and I didn't know that was the duck. That was the first time I've ever saw that video, and I didn't know he had a name.
It's a reverse the
Unless
algorithm
you
is
made up
listening
that name.
thing. He sees the video and then it gets brought up in real life.
It appears that Ben Affleck doesn't have a real presence in the locker room, which is concerning.
No, he doesn't. Maybe we should get him down there after the wins.
Get him in there. All right, Frank.
Maybe we should hand him out at the end of the games for the
Oh my
A
God.
live duck? Yes,
be
please.
great.
Just all right, boys. I think you
football
know.
teams.
Stay still. I think you know. Jesus fucking Christ. Who this one's going to? Here you go, Lucas. That'd be amazing.
We all silly like the mayor.